Good evening. Welcome back to my no-name channel. I'm Bruce, and this is not a Bali COVID-19 update. Today I'm talking about the DJI Mini 2 and my first crash. Yes, night flying crash, and boy, did that scare me. So in this video, I'm going to give you some tips in case you are new to flying the Mini. On what you should definitely do when you fly, especially if you fly at night. Let's get started, and here is a clip of what happened first. So at this point, you see I have the low battery, and I got that about 350 meters out, so I was kind of panicking, and boom, here I hit the roof of the Bali, and I'll explain that later. Usually I like to fly along the coast, skirt the coast. There's less interference, and it's pretty safe, and the same with the sea, and this is where I've gotten my longest flight, 2,900 meters, no interference, and I can see for a long time. And when I do fly at night, I keep, again, right close. I rarely go more than 200 meters from the house. The goal of this flight was to get, well, a couple thousand at least, because I wanted to film the lights in the hills and the mountains to the south of us. And so let's get into tips. So you should always go through the safety protocols. And well, I forgot this night, so you're checking firmware and safety and transmission. Okay, firmware is always important to check, so I check that. I'm good to go on that, and jump over to transmission. I'm running dual band, no problem there. Took a look at camera, and then back to safety, and I've got my altitude, distance, and home return set good. I couldn't set my home point, and compass calibration. Now that's important. I forgot about this completely, which is one of the problems I had. So you've got to rotate. Now I like to do my rotating by, people usually do it by hand, but I like to really get my whole body into it when I do my calibration for the compass. And I should have done this before I took off, and I didn't. And so I'm back here, and I'm doing a check on the advanced safety settings, and I've got signal lost, return to home. It's important for me. And then the compass in the map. Okay, so you want to, I've never really used this, but I'm finding that this is actually pretty important. And so I've just been playing with this here, and if you take a look over at the bottom left, you see that will give you an idea of how your drone is flying. Next tip, get a visual idea of where you want to go in the daytime. Take a look for any obstacles, tall trees, towers, especially here, cell phone towers, tall buildings. You see one coming up here right in the center, that big tall white building. So I want to make sure I'm high enough, my altitude is way up, and also that I don't go over into the cell towers, because at night, well, it's just hard to see some of this stuff. So I'm looking during the daytime, I'm getting an idea of exactly where I want to go. I'm going to go straight towards the white building, and I know that it's definitely not 100 meters high, and so that's what I'm going to be shooting at. I'm going to go out around 100 meters, and I'm going to shoot right for there, because behind there, the city lights, the village lights in the hills will be visible. Well, that was what I was hoping. See how far I could get. So I've got that. And then you want to look at where you're going to land. So this is where I'm landing. Now you see right where I'm standing, there's a lot of space there. Well, it looks like a lot of space. In the daytime, it's plenty of space. At night,
okay, one more thing
so
here
much.
that I forgot. This is a strobe. This is a drone strobe made by Ulanzi, and this is great for night. Okay, So you click on here, and you get the white. Click again, you get the white strobe, and then we have green. Okay, I like the green. And I use the green at night because it's good to see, and I keep the the strobe flashing. And then we've got, okay, we got solid, and we got the red. And the red works okay at night too. That's good. Now the flashing part actually is not quite as bright as if you leave it on solid. Okay, and then we're back there. So this is great because this is a line, gives you, if you're worried about a line of sight, this gives you a line of sight about 500 meters from me. So I could see this for 500 meters as it was flying the other day, the crash day. And then it just disappeared. So it's good for 500 meters. And that's if you're really interested in keeping track of where your drone is, which I am. So these are great, and this is it's got a little Velcro thing on it here, you can see. And I've got it just on top of my drone. I've got a piece of 3M sticky tape that goes on there, and it's good. It's lightweight.
And so this is where I'm heading out. I'm going straight out because I want to get the lights up in the hills are just so beautiful at night, and I wanted to get as close as I could so that I could get all of them. But I knew that was going to be probably close to 3,000, maybe 4,000 meters, and I wasn't sure how far I could go. Well, I got up to about 1,500 meters, and well, I was impressed with the view, as I always am, of the city, but I couldn't see them, so I kept moving this slowly. I was trying to take my time. I was out in an area that I couldn't see, that I hadn't been able to see in the daytime, although, as I mentioned before, I did a trial run, and I hadn't seen anything. So I was looking for the white building, and you can see it kind of in the center of the frame here. It's got two lights up in the top there. And so I knew I was okay at that point. No tall structures around me, and I started to climb a little bit more, so I was up about 111 meters when I spotted, a couple of lights there, right there. And then, boom, I got a shake, and the camera froze for a minute. I got a sign saying that lost the signal, and at that point, I decided to bring the drone back. And so at about 350 meters, I got a notice that I had a low battery. Now, at that point, it started to panic me. And then when I got this, with the land, all I saw was the land.
Battery level is low. The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
I panicked.
Go home.
Because I did not want the drone to go down in the middle of the city. And so you can see my altitude 110 meters. I was 320 meters from home, and the clock was ticking down to time. And so I was trying to rush to get back, but I didn't want to put it in sport mode because I thought that would run the battery down even more. So I was taking a look. Once I got here into the Kampung, I was trying to do this, and this was one of the mistakes I made. I was trying to find the house visually, but the lights on the roof had been destroyed during the big storm we had 2 weeks ago, and there's you might have seen the stormy weather video about how bad the storm was. Well, it destroyed the lights up in the roof, and so I had just one tiny light left, and so I was not able to see. So I'm running out of battery, and for some reason I rolled the camera up to the highest point where I was just looking into the darkness, and what I should have done was use the map, but I didn't. So I was still trying to use the camera to sight this, and I could hear it. I could hear the drone. I couldn't see it because I was looking in the wrong place. The green strobe was on, but I was looking straight ahead, and I was actually off to the east of my house. So I kind of flew around for a while. And I thought this was home, but it wasn't. And that made things worse. So I kind of shifted over. I was just a little to the east of where I was, and there you can see that little light. That's the house. So once I got to the roof there, I wanted to land, but it was on automatic landing, and the home point was off. So I shut automatic landing off, and I was trying to bring it in manually and to see where it was, and I wasn't sure what the battery was. And let's be honest about it. I was just panicked at this point. And so you can see here, I'm right over home. Look at the D distance, and I'm coming down now, a 55, 52, and suddenly there's lightning going on, and so it had been, a drizzle had started, and you can see if you look over the bottom left, the drone is slightly tilted. There's a big wind that has just come up, and so the drone is struggling with the wind, and so I'm off place. I'm bringing it down, and I eventually hit the roof. Boom, and that's it. Amazingly enough, there's a few scratches on the casing of the gimbal, but that is it. I was so lucky.